Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Conrad, and I am the managing editor of the Arizona Ascent magazine. And I'm here today with our special guest, Business Spotlight of the Month, Chin Up Donuts, the owner and founder, Alex McEntire.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. And so, like the story, what I came in. So, just to give you our audience a little bit of background. Came in, I think it was like maybe a week and a half ago. Came in and I was having a donut craving. I wanted some donuts. I looked up on Google. I was like, give me the best donuts ever. And you popped up, and I just I'm gonna pop in because my intern, Sam's first day. Is like, I'm just surprised there were some donuts. And so came in, started talking, and learned a little bit about your story. It's like, she needs to come on because you do great donuts. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey in entrepreneurship, and what brought you to Arizona, and what inspired you to start your own business.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Alex McEntire, owner, chief donut officer of Chin Up Donuts. We're a specialty donut and coffee shop here in Scottsdale. Well, 2 locations in Scottsdale. We specialize in a scratch-made brioche style donut. So a little bit different than your traditional raised donut. It's more rich and buttery because we real milk, eggs, and butter. So nice, like a fluffy, buttery bread-like consistency.
Yeah.
I just started. I'm actually originally from Arizona.
Okay.
Moved to Seattle. I worked up at Amazon, did the corporate job up there.
Yeah.
It was raining all the time, so I needed a hobby, and I started baking, and then stumbled upon making donuts,
Okay.
and then worked my way through different donut recipes.
That's
and
awesome.
then found the brioche style. I'm not a big sweets person for
Okay.
being the owner of a donut shop. I found the brioche style is more like rich and buttery, like a really delicious bread. And you could glaze it and make it sweet with all the different toppings and glazes. And you could have a lot of fun with the different unique eccentric flavors. So
That's awesome. I mean, when I saw your donuts, it's like, I like it. The one that drew me is like the birthdays. I mean, that donut's not, it's celebrated. It's got all the sprinkles, but yeah, I mean, so you're originally from Arizona, right?
Yep.
So born and raised?
Born and raised.
Okay. You just didn't like Seattle too well?
Yes, I was over the rain and the clouds and wanted to come back to Arizona. My whole family's here, and I'm just a desert rat. I love the sunshine.
Oh, that's awesome. See, I'm originally from the Midwest.
Okay.
And I moved out here about 15 years ago to Yuma, and I hated it. It was too much sunlight, too much heat. It was crazy. But anyways, cool beans. Basically, can you share some lessons with us from your entrepreneurial journey that you wish when you started?
For sure. So many. I feel like if I knew what I knew 4 years ago when I was starting it, really just so much about real estate actually, and finding the right commercial space for my business, and then the financial aspect of it too. I was fortunate to get an SBA loan when I first started, but then getting financing for a second location, it seems to be even more challenging. So just getting the right amount of financing to make sure you're not struggling too much. I feel like that was a challenge at first. I didn't want to take on too much debt. But then I didn't have as much bandwidth as far as marketing spend and paying myself and all of those things, because it adds up, and you think, I can run with X amount of dollars, and then there's always more you're going to need to pay for.
Well, no, that's so true. I mean, and definitely as we are a real estate influence magazine, that's really important for small businesses starting and growing in Arizona. You have to find the right real estate space where you're going to get your name out, and that's so important. And you got some really great real estate right here in Old Town Scottsdale. So I was going to talk about how has the community in Scottsdale and Greater Phoenix contributed to the growth and success of Chin Up Donuts?
Absolutely. I have such an amazing community that I've built. We started up in North Scottsdale, and then we were able to grow. It was just all organic word of mouth. So it's families telling each other, moms at the park, and it's like people on social media. Social media has been huge. It's created a community there. And just, all people telling each other and telling them about the fun flavors. We have the Everything Bagel one. That's a really unique one. So that one was kind of catchy. We've done a sriracha one.
So the Everything Bagel, because when I came in here the other day, I was, just minding my business, walking up here, and then guy he just came out here, turned and looked at me. He's like, you need to get the Everything Bagel.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I said, well, why? Why? It's so great. But what inspired that bagel? Because that seems like that's your popular one.
That's my favorite one of all time. I was putting everything bagel seasoning, the Trader Joe's stuff, just on everything I was eating. And I was like, I want to try it on a donut, because I love kettle corn, trail mix, all that sweet and salty combo. So I want to try it on just a glazed donut. And it worked. Your brain is kind of confused. Should be weird, but it's really good.
No, it was delicious. The one that you gave me it was amazing.
Awesome.
So it's they love that. He's like, that's my go-to. I'm like, okay, that's amazing. I'll have to try it. So I got a mixture of donuts for us. So what's really cool about chin up donuts. It's like you keep your chin up. And I know that from just like looking at you on Instagram and looking at your company and everything, like that's positivity. Why did you name the company Chin Up Donuts? Is there a special meaning behind it? Give us a little bit of that background.
Yeah, for sure. I had so many different names. I mean, that's always the challenge, is coming up with a name that'll stick. But when I was making donuts, first starting to make them, I was bringing them to coworkers, and it brings so much joy. And like, no one's ever mad that you bring donuts, or if they are, they're sarcastic because they don't want to tempt themselves. Yeah. But most of the time, people are joyful and happy when they're having donuts or when you bring donuts. So I wanted something that kind of conveyed that message and that positivity. So I thought of keep your chin up, and then kind of shortened it to chin up. So keep your chin up. You live in a world with donuts. Just my way of spreading joy and positivity. I mean, can't be mad at you
can't get mad. And you're the chief donut officer. You can't get mad at that.
Title. And then that's like creating spaces that embody that as well. So the fun, retro, unique spaces. And stuff to create that.
And you'll get to see the spaces. We'll take you, do a little video, take it around and see the space, because it's amazing. You got to come check it out. Now, here's my, question for you. I know when I was doing my little bit of research on the internet that you started your donut experience, your donut empire, let's just say, in your apartment. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah. I mean, that was just kind of back to when I was living in Seattle. It just was a hobby. Yeah. I was like boiling oil on a big pot on my stove and making them in my little like 5-quart KitchenAid. And it ended up working. And I mean, then you have to kind of tweak recipes as you continue to scale up, but not the easiest thing to cook in a 1-bedroom apartment. No. Usually like baking cookies or cupcakes you can toss in the oven, but like trying to fry oil or like boil oil.
That's another story.
It's challenging, but
challenging. Any fryer issues?
Fortunately, no. I upgraded pretty quickly to like a countertop deep fryer, which is a little less messy because it just could stay in the deep fryer and less splatter.
Less splatter and messy. Okay, cool. I think you talked about your passion about donuts. Let's talk about your transition from the corporate to small business. I know what it's like leaving a corporate job. Start a small business is a giant leap. So talk about what was that final push?
Yeah. I had been with Amazon almost 7 years and was really fortunate. It was my dream job. Loved it. Worked with some of my best friends there. It was really great. And then just went through some like organizational changes, as do most companies, management changes and things like that. I had a really creative role, and then the role was transitioning more to like project management, less of the creative aspect. And I'd already been doing donuts kind of on the side for a couple of years. And I just had a great friend at that time that was just really encouraging and saying, like, just go for it. And I knew Amazon, like being such a big company, would likely always be there. And I have a great network there. Yeah. So I'm like, why not just take the leap and try it out? And if it fails, and Amazon will be there, I'll have some great references from a 7-year career there.
Definitely. So. I mean, that's amazing. Here's another question. I want to go back to the donuts. Mm-hmm. What inspired your creativity?
Yeah, I love food. I just love to eat. Okay. I feel like I'm eating every few hours. So just whatever I eat, I think about how I can turn this into a donut. Yeah. So we've done some great restaurant collabs with everything from brisket on a donut. We just did we've done some really crazy ones of Szechuan, hot honey, chicken and waffles, all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So if I came in and gave you some pineapples, you put pineapples on it?
We've done like pineapple and tahini, like a little spicy on there. We've done a pina colada one, I think. So yeah, pretty much anything you can turn into a glaze. Okay, don't
get me started. I'm like, can you do a cheese enchilada?
We did a nacho cheese one, so we can probably do a cheese enchilada.
Cheese enchilada. Okay, that's amazing.
A little like red or green sauce with some shredded cheese. Yeah.
Throw a little bit of queso, throw a little bit of pico de gallo.
Yes.
There you go.
And Mexican food is my love language, so I feel like
my family's from. Oh, cool. Well, all right, that's great. Well, we love food. So, let's get into a couple quick. Okay, so since we are an Arizona Ascent-based magazine, and it's the ecosystem for us, we talk about the ecosystem, real estate, and people are probably going to ask, like, real estate and donuts. Mm-hmm. Well, they go together. It's the quality of life, especially being, Scottsdale. It's the prime location. Everybody's flocking here, moving here. And let's just talk a little bit about in what ways does the state of Arizona, particularly Scottsdale, support small businesses like yours? What have they done?
Yeah, it's been so great to be part of like the Scottsdale community. The city of Scottsdale has been amazing. We've partnered on some events. Like we did an Easter event with them at the Civic Park. We've done an Earth Day event. So really partnering them with the events, because donuts are nice to have a product that pretty much everyone likes. So it's fun to bring them to events. So they've been supportive in that way and having us out for events. And then the Scottsdale Chamber, and I've done different city of Scottsdale. They do like merchant meetups for the small businesses. So we get to meet other business owners in Scottsdale, really creating like a cohesive community of business owners, which has really, really been beneficial, because I feel like that's been my one secret to success is really creating a network of
Yeah.
other business owners and other people that are going through similar things
Yeah.
and can mentor you on.
And it's amazing because relationships are so important in the entrepreneurial space. Just like just like me in my business, my company, especially in the magazine, is that you have to lean on somebody who's going through the same things that you're going through, and just for them to have that network here for you, that's amazing. That's a testament to the city of Scottsdale itself, that it does support small business. So that is amazing. So, are there any local resources or organizations that have been particular? You just mentioned that question. Okay, yeah, I'm just going on.
The chamber, I would say the chamber.
The chamber's been a big support.
ASBA is the Arizona Small Business. So the chamber, there's a group called the Foundress for women entrepreneurs.
Okay,
which has been really great. That's a really cool group of female entrepreneurs.
That's awesome. So, I mean, let's talk about let's get into the real meat of this, because I know you got 2 locations, one in North Scottsdale and then one here. I'm we will be probably I know the people I've talked to, I've in Fountain Hills, I was you gotta go. It's the best freaking donut shop ever. But what are your plans for Chin Up Donuts? Can you give us a view? Are there any exciting developments or expansions on the horizons?
Yeah, for sure. The goal is to continue to grow. I want to open more locations throughout the valley. I'm originally from the West Valley, especially out there. We have a decent following out in Gilbert and Queen Creek, and that continues to grow out there. Yeah. So I think there's just so many potential. Central Phoenix is growing.
Okay, yeah.
And, the Midtown, Uptown area. So I have a lot of goal locations, but definitely awesome. To continue to grow. I think I have a lot of learning still to do.
Yeah.
After opening the second location, you kind of realize your gaps and what you need to improve upon. So standardization and processes, and really growing a management team to be able to handle things. So definitely have a lot to do in the interim before continuing to expand. But that's definitely kind of the 5-year, 10-year plan.
I mean, that's an amazing plan. And just now here's another question for you, a little bit off the cuff. I know that you're Scottsdale based, but how is it the word of mouth? Where do you find people are coming the most from for the donuts? And do you ask them where they come from and how'd you find us? Yeah. So where do you see, where's that coming from?
Yeah. A lot of it is social media. Okay. We have a lot of people, when you get their donut or when they get their donut and their coffee, they want to photograph the donut, post it on Instagram, or post them in the space and on the couch with the neon sign, things like that. So fortunate to have a product in space that people want to share. So social is a big one. And then just Google, I think that's how you say you found
that's
us.
How I found
people
you.
Just donuts around near me, coffee near me. Yeah, and we're fortunate to have really great reviews online.
That's amazing, because that's why I was in the car driving. I'm like, Siri, give me the best local donut shops, and then you popped up number 1, and then number 2 was another place. I don't know what it was, but I'm not going to mention names in other donut shops because Chin Up Donuts are my favorite. So yeah,
it worked out.
It did work out.
Here, but yeah, the search,
the search, it did. Okay, so let's talk about, what does a typical day look like for you as a chief donut officer? Well, let me guess. The first day that you have is you pop a donut in your mouth.
I wake up right on my nightstand, a donut.
Got a donut under the bed.
Yeah, I'm fortunate. I really am a morning person, so I wake up early as it is. So I wake up. I actually go to the gym because I have to work out every day, so I can eat donuts every day, kind of balance it out. But go to the gym. I go North Scottsdale, check on that shop. The chefs are all in North Scottsdale, and our kitchen is there. So we pick up the donuts and bring them here to the North Scottsdale shop every morning. So they're all produced up there, and then bring them down here. So I'm usually the delivery driver bringing them down here. And then depending on the day, I'll usually work some in the shop here or help the team out here. Sometimes I'll work from home. Tomorrow I'll be driving all over. I have delivery and a catering. I have my little donut trike. We'll be picking up and delivering for events. So kind of depends on the day, but that's some kind of support either at the shop or at an event doing that.
Yeah.
And then,
so you make all your donuts over in North Scottsdale. Do you also have a shop attached to that too?
Yep. So that's the North Scottsdale kitchen and the shop.
Okay, that's amazing too. And so it's so that's what when you said chief donut officer, I was just thinking all you did all day was just eat donuts.
I wish that would be great. Yeah, just taste testing all day long.
Yeah, that's what I would love to do that.
A lot of driving and I'll be in the kitchen this weekend helping the chefs. I have one chef out, so then sometimes I get to chef again.
So you put the chef's hat on?
I get my apron and get the powdered sugar all over me.
that would be a picture worth putting in the magazine. So here's another question. What advice do you have for any other woman looking to start their own business in a tradition? I mean, I don't know if donuts are male dominated. Is it a male dominated industry of donuts?
I mean, a lot of people say the food industry, especially in the kitchen, is really male dominated. I just think entrepreneurship tends to be more male dominated or male driven in general, but I think there is just kind of more and more females getting into running their own businesses. But yeah, I think biggest thing is just go for it. Like there's never going to be the perfect time. With that being said, do your research. I think there's so much to learn before you open, and you can do that simultaneously. I mean, there's so many steps to going into opening your business, but I had conversations with 5 to 6 different shops, if not more, of donut shops, and then another 5 or 6 coffee shops, just to see what their production looked like, their costs. I've had a couple of people that were like really open books, able to share the financial aspects.
That's awesome.
Creating projections and a business plan, just talking to as many people in your industry as possible that you can gain that knowledge. Get your finances under control and figure that aspect out as well.
And know your audience too.
Yeah. I mean, and like test that. That's why I was doing pop-ups and farmers markets and all of that. So
if you want, talk a little bit about that. We didn't get into the pop-ups and markets. So when you first moved to back to Arizona, that's what you were doing a lot of the time, right?
Yep. So I had my little donut trike that I got to pedal to like farmers markets. It's all cute and wrapped in yellow. So I was doing that and really got to test it and see what flavors people liked and what areas where people were like receptive of it. So yeah, I was just working out of a commercial kitchen and doing that. And I think that's a really great way to see how people feel about your product.
How long were you doing that for?
Just a few months, because then COVID hit. Because I moved back December of 2019. So I kind of got started January, February. And then beginning of March, COVID hit. So I moved to just all delivery based. So then it was all online, and then I was just dropping them on people's doorsteps.
How long did you do that for?
Yeah, my first the shop opened in November of 2020. So I was kind of doing a few months of pop-ups and then 6 months or so of delivery based stuff before then I had the brick and mortar shop.
Gotcha.
But and in Seattle, I was doing it probably 2 years before that, of the pop-ups and
stuff like that.
So
did you find that just like that during that, especially COVID, the time where people couldn't commute, you could not interact or come in and get food, did you find that what did you do special for those donuts to keep that positivity?
Yeah, we did like custom letter donuts. We do like the chin up box, so it spelled keep your chin up or just chin up. And then we partnered with other small businesses. We do bath bombs and candles and little things and create little like care packages.
Yeah.
So friends that didn't get to see their friends could send them, or you could send them to grandparents. So it was fun. You could spell out messages in the donuts and like just have a great little care package just to let someone know you're thinking of them.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to get to the fun. These are the fun questions.
Okay.
What's your favorite donut flavor that you've created so far and why? I think you might have said a little bit.
The everything bagel one is like my favorite.
What's your second favorite donut?
The one that we did a collab for National Donut Day last year, or maybe 2 years ago, was with Little Miss Barbecue. And we did a brown butter sea salt glaze with their brisket and then barbecue sauce. So it was like, you get the brisket and the brown butter, a little sweet, a little salty, and that barbecue sauce. Oh my God. It was definitely a meal in a donut, but it was so good.
That's amazing. Okay. Here's another one. If you could have anyone past or present come to Chin Up Donuts and try your creations, who would it be and why?
Ooh,
good question.
A good one. I have so many like food related ones and then sports related ones. I've always loved Christina Tosi. I think she's really cool. She created Milk Bar. It's a big brand, like out in New York City.
Yeah.
And has built her dessert business into great things. So I think it would be really cool to have her out here to try the donuts and do that. And another just local celebrity. I love Charles Barkley because I love the Phoenix Suns. So I'm like, Charles Barkley coming in here and eating some donuts. That would be great.
Okay. Well. Have you had any celebrities come out and have a donut?
I've had like a UFC fighter, like MMA fighter. He was in my other shop. I'm like, he looks familiar. And then I Googled him. I'm like, oh, that was like, I think it was Michael Chandler or something.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Next time I need to get a photo and autographs, I can create a celebrity.
Oh yeah, celebrity. Get pictures of me eating donuts. Well, Alex, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It was truly wonderful having you on here and having us open your shop to us. Come up and try Chin Up Donuts. It's amazing, guys.
Please do.